Bohannon 134 halts Kent's charge. It's been a good couple of days for Kent so far, despite the loss of captain Sam Billings to a positive COVID test. Stand-in skipper Jack Leaning had played well for his 90, helping the visitors build a lead of 125 after their hosts slumped to 145 all out in their first innings. It was a good start to the day from Wells and Jennings though, the former quickly into his work, the latter more reticent. They brought up 50 after an hour of play, up to the mark with 2 from Wells. But with the score on 54, Kent picked up their first wicket of the innings. Jennings caught by Leaning off Gilchrist for 14. Bohannon joined Wells in the middle, and almost immediately the rate of scoring picked up. When Wells turned Saini around the corner for a single to bring up a 50 scored off 69 balls, Lancashire were closing in on 3 figures. Wells took them to the 100 with a single off Bell Drummond. They were trailing now by just 25. And with another, he and Bohannon had put on 50 runs for the second wicket. Lancashire headed into lunch on 109 for 1, now only 16 in arrears. The partnership continued to frustrate Kent. Their advantage disappeared in the overs after the break, and Lancashire started to slowly build a lead of their own. He'd played second fiddle to Wells, but Bohannon too started to find some more fluency, and with 2 off Henry, he took his side to 150, already into the 40s now. It was Wells who took the partnership to 100, Saini's delivery skipping away from the cordon for 4. Both men were heading for milestone moments, and Bohannon had his first, 50 off 90 balls when he flicked Henry away for 4. But Wells wouldn't make it to his, out for 98, caught by Leaning off Saini with the lead up to 46. It was far from straightforward for Lancashire. Bohannon needed a moment after this delivery from Saini. A deep breath for the number 3, and he was okay to continue, putting on a 50-run stand for the third wicket, alongside stand-in skipper Stephen Croft. They were 106 ahead at tea. Kent's dominance had disappeared for the time being. And Lancashire continued to cause the visiting attack difficulties after the break. 250 on the board when Bohannon flicked Stenley for 2. The lead now 126, and the talented Lancashire number 3 was heading for a century. When he pushed Stenley down the ground for a single and scampered through safely, the Lancashire balcony rose. Bohannon with another big knock, 100 scored off 186 balls. They'd be welcoming the captain back shortly though. Croft bowled by Henry for 41, the first wicket for almost 2 hours. And it looked like the wait for another was going to be a long one. Jones in fine fettle on his arrival to the middle, his partnership with Bohannon, another solid one. It was worth 73 off 85 when Bohannon fell late in the day, soaking up the applause of his colleagues as he wandered off after putting on 134. Sundar was only able to add 10 before he was pinned in front by Leaning, but the Lancashire balcony had another reason to applaud. Jones up to 50 before the end of the day, his second half-century of the season, scored off 73 balls. When time was called, Lancashire had moved their lead onto 252, and with 5 wickets still in hand, it looks likely that Kent's hopes of forcing a win may well be over. That's largely down to another excellent knock from Josh Bohannon, a great return from the number 3. Perhaps the hosts may themselves have ideas about turning this match around and finishing day 4 with a 5th win of the season.